Everybody's ready? No? No?
When did you see the movie?
Yep, I'm ready.
Yeah.
So thanks for the great film. It's amazingly imaginative. And I was wondering, where do you draw your inspiration from? Music, comic books, dreams, paintings?
All of that. Comic book fan when I was a kid, growing up in an isolated rural community. Comics were illicit and I loved them, and I used to draw cinema, clearly. I was very, very interested in silent cinema, where the film language was formed. Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd, Max Sennett, the westerns, the silent westerns, and so on and so on. And also we had a rule in this film for all the designers that was that just because it's the wasteland, it doesn't mean people don't make beautiful things. Even in impoverished townships in Africa, they still make beautiful toys out of wire and Coke cans, or even Paleolithic man made beautiful cave drawings and paintings and so on. So that aesthetic became very important, so that even a steering wheel was a quasi-religious artifact. So those sort of things happen. And then you work to a logic. You know, that guitarist?
My favorite part.
Before modern communications, there was always the music of war. The drummer, the bugler, the horn, the bagpipes of the Scottish, they're all instruments of war. And here, with all the noise, we needed a big bank of speakers. We had taiko drummers, and we had a guitarist to play it. But also, it had to be a weapon, so it was a flamethrower. So even though it's crazy when you look at it, it's reinforced by a logic.
Premiering here in Cannes, you see it as a statement of the Cannes Film Festival that action films and summer movies are art as well, and great art in your case.
Well, that seems to be the case. I mean, the French were the first to recognize the early Mad Maxes as westerns on wheels, and I was lucky enough to be on the jury twice. It's great to be here, and I think they're recognizing the filmmaking, which is really great. It's not just a popcorn movie, not to put it down, but they're seeing some cinematic value in it too, which is nice. A bit strange though to see all those people with their black tie and their dresses watching that movie in the theater.
Your work has always been about respect. You've made intelligent films for children, you've made intelligent blockbuster movies. Is it hard to convince producers to support this kind of filmmaking?
Well, in terms of producers, I've always worked with my partner, Doug Mitchell, to make the movie. It's a question of convincing the studio. Our home studio has been Warner Brothers now for almost 30 years. And if they like the story, they get behind you. It's not been hard. Sometimes doing the technology, I'm very interested in the technology. So when I first saw the first motion capture from my friend, the cinematographer Andrew Lesney, from the first Lord of the Rings, and when I saw the first Gollum created with motion capture, I realized, you can make the penguins dance, so I got excited. So I'm always interested in that technology. And sometimes the studio needs to be convinced if it will work. But once they're convinced, they leave you alone.
I was wondering, as you're the master of the action scenes and the chase scenes, have you seen the Fast and the Furious movies? Do you like them, or were you inspired by them?
I've seen some of them. I haven't seen the more recent one because I was so busy. But of course, I like really, really good action. I really like, for instance, the Pixar the Pixar movies, because they really respect the camera and see that you get the syntax that can be created through the camera, and some of the DreamWorks movies and so on. It's moving image. Movies are a kinetic experience, and so I love that. It's like visual music, and this is Mad Max is, I guess, kind of like rock and roll.
I think one of my favorite quotes in the film is "Hope is a mistake."
Yeah.
Can you relate to that? Are you skeptical? Are you pessimist?
No, that's Max.
That's Max.
That's Max. No, hope is not a mistake. And I think he learns that. He says that's the only thing we have. But he's explained. It's the first time he confesses something of himself. And so he's in despair. And when she's most disappointed, he says hope is a mistake. But very soon after, he gives her hope.
I think we all left the theater with one hope, that the next Mad Max film will be in 2 years, 3 years, not even 30 years, because...
Look, when people say you're going to make another Mad Max movie, I say it's like asking a woman who's just given birth to a baby, when are you making your next baby? This was a big baby. Right now, I just want to have a rest.
Speaking about babies,
It's all right.
okay.
No, I'll ask you a question.
I mean, you've made movies for children. What do you think should be the age limit for this film, for Mad Max?
13, 14. It's very close to a 13, 14 and up. When I see what kids watch on cable and TV now, I have no problem.
After your bar mitzvah, it's fine.
There you go.
Okay.
After your bar mitzvah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.